Have you ever noticed how even the highest achievers still have coaches? CEOs, athletes, performers, anyone who's excelling in their field, they all have a coach. Now I know you're thinking, of course, Kevin, the coach, is going to say we should have a coach, but track with me here. This is something that most of us miss. Most of us believe that we can do it alone or that we can figure it out. The best of the best have an advantage by having the right coach to not leave success up to chance and to craft the life you want. Welcome back. This is Kevin. If it's your first time to the channel, one, pay attention, and two, consider hitting subscribe and joining my channel. We put videos out like this every week. Before we get into the real reason why you're here, let me tell you a story about during the pandemic when I worked with Tim Grover. If you're not familiar with Tim Grover, he was the coach for Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Michael Jordan, lots of high-level NBA people, and so I chose to work with him during that time because everyone went virtual and it was just accessible to me. But here's what I learned. The two biggest things that I learned by working with him, I worked with him for about 12 weeks. The two biggest things I learned. One is that we parent the lion out of our kids. And what I mean by that, or what he means by that, is that kids are naturally born claiming what they want in life. Mine, mine, mine. They're naturally born with that. And what do we do as a society, as teachers, preachers, parents? We say, shh, sit down and be quiet, or share. Give your things away to them. Now, I'm all for sharing. I have a 10-year-old son. I want him to share and help people out. But what I don't want him to do is to do that at the expense of what he wants. So that's the number one thing I learned from Tim, was that we parent the lion out of our kids, and we've got to create more balance for that. The second thing I learned, he shared a story about Kobe Bryant. Kobe had a bad game in LA. Tim was his coach, and so Kobe got on a plane after the game, flew to Chicago where Tim lives, trained in the middle of the night, took the plane back the first thing in the morning, and played a game the next night. That's how committed to getting better Kobe Bryant was. More importantly, here's what I want to just reiterate. The Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, the team that Kobe plays for, had coaches. He could have stayed in Los Angeles and gotten coaching from the assigned coaches, but he didn't do that. He hired the best in the world, the best that he could get, the best he could find. He hired the best to be his personal coach, and he took that responsibility on himself, and so he flew to Chicago to get what he needed to excel at the level he excelled at. Now, you all know Kobe Bryant, multi-championships, all the things, arguably one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Why would he look outside of the organization that hired him to get his own coach? Well, the reason was that he needed someone in his inner circle that was not on the company's payroll. He needed someone who was objective, who could help coach him through, what if there was a time where he wanted to leave the Lakers? He didn't need someone who was loyal to the team. He wanted someone who's loyal to him being better. And so that's why Tim said that he ultimately hired him. And so that's what we're talking about today. And I took that knowledge, I took that insight from Tim, and I still use that today. I still tell these stories. Obviously, one of the things that my current mentor says, he says, if you can get a great coach, that coach will see things you can't see, hear things you can't hear, and push you to be the person you knew you could always be. And of course, that was said by Tony Robbins, and I believe it wholeheartedly. Okay, fun fact, the International Coaching Federation found that 80% of people who received coaching reported an increase in self-confidence. And over 70% of those people improved their work performance, communication, and relationships. And the big takeaway from that is the top 1% are not guessing about success. They're getting coached. I want you to think about the last time you worked on something really big, something really big. It was either for yourself or business, but the last time you worked on something really big, how often did you have self-doubting thoughts? How often did you battle limiting beliefs? How often did you think, maybe this isn't for me? How often did you feel stuck? Now imagine in those moments that you had someone outside of your head giving you clear and direct feedback. That's what coaching is. Fun fact and data drop right here. Harvard Business Review revealed that companies that invest in coaching for their executives experience a 7 times return on that investment by the way of productivity and performance. And it doesn't matter what team you're on. If you're on Microsoft or Apple, it doesn't matter. But Bill Gates, he said that everyone needs a coach. He said that we all need people who give us feedback because that's the way that we improve. And that's not just in business or in the job that you're here to do. Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, all these great athletes, they have personal coaches that are helping them in their personal lives. And that's not by accident, because you can't be a success in business and feel fulfilled if your life is in shambles, or your life is in chaos, or you're not really clear on who you're growing to be. Because let's face it, even when you're at the top of your game, even when you're the best in the business that you're in the sport, and you're the best at everything you do, even when you're the best, you need someone to help you fine tune because you're never perfect. You can always get a little bit better. And it's those margins of improvement that we're talking about that create fulfillment in life. They create that hunger to keep going. They create the desire to continue. You know, I've been coaching a long time, and there's one thing that most people come into coaching and say they need, and that's accountability. Most people show up to my door and they say, I want you to hold me accountable. Well, here's a stat that actually blew my mind. According to the American Society of Training and Development, over 65% of people are more likely to achieve a goal when they commit to someone else. But that's not even the shocking part. That's not even the thing that interests me. If people have regular check-ins with a coach that they've committed to this goal to, that percentage jumps to 95%. So when we talk about playing the advantages and playing the odds and all these things, you know, if you hire a coach and your chances of achieving a specific goal jumps up to 95%, why wouldn't you do it? And that's exactly why coaching isn't about motivation. It's about results. And if you take someone like Oprah Winfrey, she credits a lot of her success to having coaches and mentors throughout the course of her life. And I don't think anyone's going to question that she's a high performer, a high achiever. And the same happens in pro sports. NFL teams don't just have one coach. They have dozens of coaches, from mindset coaches, strength coaches, strategy coaches, head coaches, offensive line coaches, defensive line coaches, special teams coaches. There's just dozens and dozens of coaches in their specialty keeping these people accountable. And the reason that that's important is because when you're playing at the highest level, you're operating at the highest level, the difference between getting what you want and not getting what you want has absolutely nothing to do with talent. It doesn't matter how talented you are at what you do. What matters is how well you execute on that plan. And that's exactly what great coaching helps you with. It helps you execute on the plan. All right, I get it. Maybe you're thinking, hey, listen, I'm not an NFL player. I'm not Oprah Winfrey. I'm not Tom Brady or Tiger Woods or Serena Williams. I'm not Tim Grover. I get it. I get it. Do you still need a coach? You already know the answer. If you have to ask the question, you know the answer. The answer is yes. And the reason it's yes is because coaching is for people who want to break through barriers. Either learn barriers, behaviors, limiting beliefs. You want to break through your station in life into the next part. You want to become a better father, a better mother, a better parent, a better partner, a better business owner, a better employee. You want to lead your way through your life. That's the reason to get a coach. And Tony Robbins puts it so eloquently and so beautifully when he says, the quality of your life is a direct reflection of the quality of questions that you ask yourself. And that's just it. A great coach doesn't give you more information. They help you ask better questions so that you can unlock the answers that you already have. All right, so let's bring this home. Let's wrap this up. Why do great people, why does the top 1% of people, why do they have coaches? One, because they can't see their own blind spots. Neither can you. Neither can I. Two, accountability. It drives results. They hold you accountable to your vision. And lastly, it's because success, whatever your version of that is not about doing more. It's about doing the right things, the things that work. It's not about being stuck. It's not about limiting beliefs. It's not about staying where you are. It's about growing through this cycle of life into something higher, better, and more impactful. And if I'm honest, if coaching can help billionaires, pro athletes, entertainers, people, the top 1%, surely coaching can help me. Surely it can help you. And I'll be honest, coaching does help me. So I hired the best coach I could find. These are people trained directly by Tony. And that's why I love it. And yes, I do work for the company. And yes, I'm a little bit biased, but that's the beauty of it. You know, I didn't drink the Kool-Aid so that I could say I drank the Kool-Aid. I drank the Kool-Aid because it was good. And that's why I work with his coaches. Hey, thanks for showing up today. If you like this video, consider giving me a like on my little channel. And then if you want to learn about this stuff even more, subscribe, because I put videos out every week that are going to push the envelope about what you should be focusing on to experience exponential growth over the next year, 3 months, 2 years, 3 years, whatever your time frame is. That's what this is about. This is not about convincing you one way or another. It's just about getting you to think differently so that you can be differently. And in the meantime, consider getting a coach. It will change your life. My name's Kevin, and I'll see you next time.